New this morning, Action News Now digging deeper into a former recycling waste disposal site in Tehama County. A fire burned Specialized Fibers yard 4 years ago, and it still has not been cleaned up. The plant was at South Avenue and Kirkwood Road near Corning. Action News Now reporter Jafet Serrato is live there this morning. Jafet, what did you find out?
I found out it's taking a while to clean up, Kelly, because the county is waiting for someone to buy this property and take it off its hands. This yard behind me is being looked at by several agencies. I caught up with a woman who lives nearby and remembers the day this yard burned up.
I sat on the porch of the neighbors next door to me, and we saw the sky light up.
Cindy Peacher remembers when the yard exploded in flames in July of 2018. Action News Now got to the fire shortly after it started and captured video of the flames and the destruction.
So we're out here at the Specialized Fibers recycling plant out in Corning.
Now, 4 years later, you can still see the damage done by the fire.
I don't know why this stuff is not getting moved out.
I took her concerns straight to the Tehama County District Attorney, Matt Rogers.
It looks like there's no progress, and I understand where people are coming from.
Rogers says CAL FIRE determined it was probably arson, but couldn't rule out spontaneous combustion. Omega Waste Management and Bucky Lee Incorporated co-owned the land. Rogers found enough evidence to file criminal and civil charges against both companies.
Both of those cases were going through court at the same time. We achieved guilty pleas on the criminal side of our case. August 18th of 2020, the corporations were sentenced to 5 years of probation.
Each company ordered to either pay $1.7 million or clean up the site.
We have a railroad track right there. They could easily load it on the railroad track and get it out of here too.
And in the civil matter,
we were able to obtain a default judgment against Omega Waste, Robert O'Connor, and Bucky Lee.
Rogers says Robert O'Connor owned both Omega and Bucky Lee at the time and was part of the litigation with his son Dan. Robert died a few years ago. His wife, Karen, now owns the companies. I went to the Omega Waste Management office in Corning to ask Karen or Dan if they intended to clean up the site. Employees told me Dan is not allowed to be near the office. Karen did not get back to me. Tehama County DA Matt Rogers says the county did not put off cleaning up the site. The reason why it's taking longer than some like is because the county is waiting to see if a private company will buy it and clean it up.
There is active work being done on this, trying to put it together, trying to get this company onto the property and let them clean it up so that the taxpayers don't have to.
That company, called Polaris Terminals, is based out of Texas and says they hope to have it cleaned up in about 6 months. But before they can buy it and clean it, Cal EPA, Tehama County, and the IRS must sign off on the deal.
That seems like quite a long time. I would hope that they would be able to get a handle on that and, improve our community and not remind us of what we saw that was bad.
If Polaris Terminals ends up buying it, Omega and Bucky Lee would not have to clean it or pay the $3.4 million fine. The companies would still be obligated to pay standard fees with the criminal case. As for Cindy Peacher, she tells me she won't believe the cleanup will happen until she actually sees it.
I can be a hopeful person. I'm not too hopeful at this point because here it sits still.
Some people living in Corning were concerned that after the fire, if the soil or water was ever contaminated. Coming up in the next half hour, I got some answers from Tehama County Environmental Health. Live in Tehama County, Jafet Serrato, Action News Now, coverage you can count on.
Thanks, Jafet. Tehama County DA Matt Rogers says he's been in talks with the private company to purchase the former Specialized Fibers yard since late 2020.